Now, there is no doubt about it that the list is growing when it comes to the number of celebrities saying some of the most downright offensive things about Charlie Kirk out there by either mocking him, attacking him, or even politicizing the entire assassination that took place on September the 10th. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, we have seen what Robert De Niro said, Ariana Grande, and among many other celebrities out there that are just tanking their careers. We've seen Stephen King saying some of the most awful things out there about Charlie Kirk, and the list goes on and on. One of which now also involves Katy Perry, who is the latest to politicize the entire Charlie Kirk assassination and really dragging Trump at the very center of it all. Now, we know one thing about Katy Perry is that she got a lot of flack for how she acted when she came back down to Earth, quote-unquote, from her, quote-unquote, space travel, and we all saw exactly how that happened, and how that actually really impacted her Lifetime's tour and the ticket sales in specific markets, and the last thing you would want to do is to actually politicize the Charlie Kirk assassination. So let's get into this. Now, one thing about Katy Perry right now is that we know that she is very much an insufferable individual. We all saw how she's now interacting with the previous, Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and we all know that at the same exact time that Katy Perry is trying to pretty much stabilize her Lifetime's tour and everything else in between. So what's interesting about all of this has a lot more to do with Katy Perry yet again making things worse for herself and digging herself into a bigger hole. Now, with the assassination of Charlie Kirk already causing many firings and cancellations over those mocking, lying about him, or attacking him after his death, one major development going on now involves more to do with singer and performer Katy Perry already taking advantage of the Charlie Kirk assassination and politicizing the entire thing. Katy delivered the following that is already backfiring on her Lifetime's tour. What we saw happen last month, I don't think was just politically motivated, she says, after what happened to that young man, but it is rather a living example that we are witnessing a sharp decline in the proper education American citizens need. And as a result of this administration, there are so many uneducated Americans out there, so many unhealed citizens that are just lost and don't know how to question things for themselves after what happened on September 10th. These are the very same American citizens that believe that what Trump is doing right now is best for the country, especially his disastrous mishandling of the border and with ICE, and how he is abusing that type of power. People are angry, sadly, and as a result, we are witnessing a terrible spike in violence. What happened to that young man, Charlie, should have never happened, but it is a direct result of all the division that we are dealing with right now under Trump. Prices have gone up. Nobody can afford to do anything anymore because of this presidency in such a short time. Now, guys, let me just say one thing about Katy Perry and other performers out there like Ariana Grande. I kind of find it rather ridiculous when they say people can't afford to do anything anymore, and when they say stuff like that, yet they are so much in a case of privilege where they have tens of millions of dollars. They really are in no place to actually talk about that, as if they know where people are coming from. But what's interesting, though, is that they put it all on Trump constantly. They always blame Trump all the time about the current status of the country, and never do they ever actually reference the previous presidency at any point in time. Now, she goes on to continue, it hasn't even been a year yet, and our country is already in shambles and is upside down. Americans seriously need to educate themselves better, especially with politics, because what this administration is doing is so wrong and out of control, and that's why we are dealing with so much violence. Our freedom of speech is also gone. Just look at what's happening both in the film and music industries. We are being silenced by this man that wants to be a dictator. Things would be so much better off under Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, and I stand by that all the way. But I think that we all need to really stand up and just tell it like it is, that this presidency has no clue what they are doing after what happened to this man, Charlie Kirk. All the right wants to do is to blame the left. It's all a political narrative, and that's what's so sickening about our country right now. I think my fans will understand this as much as I do, but after I went up in space and came back down to Earth, my worldview changed completely. Politics is a completely made-up concept, and we need to have a better system to create unity in our country. Now guys, let me just say one thing about Katy Perry. This is the same Katy Perry that is supposedly dating Justin Trudeau, the previous Canadian Prime Minister. Now look, that's not official or anything, but there's a lot of rumors out there. There's even footage of her dining with Justin Trudeau. I don't know if you guys saw that. So it's really not all that shocking that maybe that this is where all of her nonsense is coming from. Who knows? But one thing is for sure about all of this is that she continues, "It's terrible to me that this presidency is taking advantage of the loss of one's life to exchange their political ideology and agenda onto hard-working American citizens." Again, I mean, there she goes, turning it into a whole political talking point. Instead, she could have actually, showed her support to Charlie Kirk's wife, Erika Kirk, showed her support to his loved ones, such as his friends and family. Keep it short and sweet and something around those lines, but no, they always have to politicize it. They always have to drag Trump at the very center of everything here. And worst of all, she always has to come out with the whole Americans are uneducated, American citizens need better education, or they are so unhealed. I think that really is just Katy Perry's signature move right now, is by saying everyone's uneducated, basically. And look, we know a lot of these celebrities parrot each other. We've heard this from Robert De Niro. We've heard this from Alec Baldwin. It's nothing new, really. She goes on to close, "If only they had a better education to understand what is happening around them, only then would this administration make the right decisions under pressure." So basically what she's saying is that if and only if people got the proper education, then and only would this administration do a better job. And I don't really see where she's coming from at that. A lot of people in this country are very well educated. We have a lot of great doctors, nurses, construction workers, so many people out there that do a fantastic job and contribute well to society. So I don't know where she's really coming from. And again, as my previous point, I think a lot of this is coming from her affiliation with Justin Trudeau. There's no doubt about that. Notice how she really did take a sharp turn in the past year, give or take, especially since April, when she actually took part in that Blue Origin space flight. But overall, I mean, we know everything that's going on right now with the whole Charlie Kirk assassination. If there's one thing that comes out of this is that, yes, you are seeing a lot of celebrities coming out of the woodwork to politicize it constantly, and it's almost like they feel that this was a right moment for them to create this as a Trump victory election 2.0 situation where we had a lot of celebrities, crying and really just going off constantly for roughly 3 months after Trump won the election. And then it just kind of went dark and silenced, right? Now they're using this as an opportunity to redo all of that again. But overall, I would really love to hear what everyone has to say about Katy Perry, her Lifetimes tour, and how that's struggling in specific US markets, and how this is not helping, obviously. This is only going to make things worse. There's no doubt about that as well. And I will say this, Katy Perry will never learn from her mistakes, even from her own fans that are walking away as we speak. But overall, guys, yes, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.